that was Alex for 1 second, sorry. Welcome to our March Diversify the Verse discussion, and let's say hi to Alex, although she's like
I'm just like Instagramming. It's fine. Hello, everyone.
Yes, so we are so excited to talk about this book and the movie that came out because we both saw the movie and it was so much fun. And I've had a lot of fun rereading this because I read it back in September, and yeah, so
Wait, damn, you read it in September?
Yeah, I read it back in September. I did a buddy read with a friend, and I like absolutely fell in love with it. It's like the cutest book ever. It like kills you because it's so cute. I like died reading this book again.
Oh my god.
This is just so cute, like dying from cuteness. That's the way to go. You know, you gotta go somehow. Okay. So I like totally forgot how do we even start these.
We do. Are we same? Are we gonna like say our next month's book? Not yet, right?
No, not yet. We gotta talk about our non-spoilery thoughts. No, we gotta talk about why we picked it.
Oh well, yeah. Okay.
We picked it because the movie's coming out. Yeah. Well, and it's just like such a cute book, and it's got like the LGBT rap, and the movie was coming out, so we thought it'd be just like fun to read the book and also discuss the movie and kind of like the changes with that, because you know that's a really big part of literature. Like a lot of literature gets turned into movies, so it's just kind of fun to discuss that aspect of it too. And I just love this book. Honestly, it was like one of my favorite reads of last year. So yeah.
I don't know. I think it's kind of like an excuse for us to talk about the movie, because I feel like talking about the movie, it would be okay, but like, you know, now we get to read the book as well. I reread it as well because I read it in, I think, like early this year, like January, so it wasn't that far back. But yeah, I just really want to talk about the movie because it honestly really surprised me. So yeah, okay.
Okay. So what are your like, I guess, first impressions of the book, if you can remember your first impressions of the book? Really non-spoilery thoughts.
Yeah, it was like a really quick read. Like I know a lot of people were reading it in like under a day, and I was like, how are they gonna do that? But I actually did read this under a day. It was also very real, like a lot more realistic than a lot of like the contemporary fiction I've read. I guess because most of those are kind of like unrealistic, or I guess just different from what I've experienced. But this book felt a lot more like real. You had a lot of diverse characters, like Belinda said, so it felt like you were actually in a high school setting, unlike some unrealistic fiction where it's like just white kids. But yeah, it was also really cute. Like you have those like really awkward moments, but they're cute, like when you think of them. So I liked how like I didn't feel really cringe about it, and yeah.
Do you not like books when you feel cringe?
Yeah, like no, it was like there were some like awkwardly cute moments. Like that's how I would describe it, like awkwardly cute moments.
I think I started this as an audiobook.
Oh, really? How's the audiobook?
Or I know that I audiobooked a really good part of it. I might have audiobooked like all of it and read some of it and then like re-audiobooked it, because I know I finished like reading it before because I just like could not wait to finish it. But I love the audiobook. Well, I think I might have started with the audiobook because I audiobooked her other book, The Upside of Unrequited. And I really liked that, so I like tried it with this. But the audiobook is so good. Like even rereading it, I kind of feel like I was reading it in like that audiobook voice. And I don't know, it just like I feel like it really adds something to the story. Like it really kind of feels like Simon is telling the story, because he has such a distinct voice and a really like honest kind of teenage voice. And so I don't know, I really like the audiobook, so I like definitely recommend it, even if you read it, to go and read the audiobook because it's just so much fun. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed this book a lot. My first impressions were like a lot of hating Martin. Yes. Oh. That hasn't changed because I still don't like that guy. Which isn't really a spoiler because literally if you read the first page, there he is. in all his terribleness. But I don't know, I really liked his voice. I really liked like the honesty of like the teenage, and it kind of, I'm reading this book for my school book club too, and someone mentioned about how she does like a lot of pop culture references in this, and I really liked it. I feel like it really does kind of capture like that time in your life where you are surrounded by like a lot of pop culture, and you kind of like think in pop culture, and you get all these like references, even if it's like not real pop culture, because like there's some things in here where I'm like, I don't know if that is actually real, if this person like actually exists and has music or whatever, because you know he's into a lot of music in this book. But I don't know, I just like really loved it, and it was so cute, and I told you I died of cuteness because it's so cute. Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, I guess I didn't catch the pop culture references. Yeah, because like you said, they might not have been real, so I guess I didn't really like catch them. Let's see. Oh my god, like apart from like Simon, I think for this book was when I really like loved side characters or like his friends, and it was just really also his family. Like, oh my god, his family makes me like cry so much. It's just every single member, and yeah, just in general, I think this is like the perfect book to bring to the big screen, like as a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you could visualize it as a movie, so you know.
Yeah, you mentioned like all the characters. I honestly would read a book about every character. I know Leah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I want a book about Nora. I want a book about his sister. Like really, I thought that she was gonna write a book about Nora, and then it came out with Leah. But
yeah, Leah.
Still have my fingers crossed. Nora. I want a book about Nora. And
hey, oh yeah, I was about to say this is the non-spoilery section. I was about to spoil something.
Okay, do you want to announce our next book then?
Okay, let's announce our next book, which I do not have with me, but it's a good one.
Because we're a little slow on the picking the book thing. So our next book for April is going to be The Victoria in My Head, and it's by Janelle Milanes. I don't know how to say her name. I'm sorry. I probably butchered it. But this book, it stars a Cuban-American girl who's kind of struggling with what her parents want her to do, like to be the perfect kid who goes to Harvard. I guess we kind of have some of the same themes as American Panda if you're there for that, but I think it's kind of going to be a little different. And she also like wants to be a singer in a rock band, and I think what happens is like she auditions for a rock band, but she also has like stage fright. So I'm really excited about this because it's like, you know, about music and also about like growing up and, you know, about finding yourself and finding your voice, and I'm really excited to read it. And it is also by a second generation Latina. I think that's what she said that on her bio. So it's kind of like an own voices, and so we're really excited to read this. It came out last year. It's not very popular at all, but it has a lot of good reviews. So
yeah, like we always try to do, I mean, we do focus on like big releases, of course, because we want to get into discussion, but we also focus on like books that are pretty underrated because like they need attention too. Like, oh my god, I remember like The Secret of a Heart Note, like it was so underrated and I'd never heard of it, and then Belinda brought it up and it's like my favorite book. Yeah, hoping that it's the same thing.
So I'm excited about this. Checked it out at the library, so I got my sticker here. And all the other stickers, because my library loves stickers, but I wanted to read this originally when it came out, so I'm really glad we get to read it now. And we haven't done a lot of books with characters who have Hispanic heritage, so I thought it'd kind of be fun to do one next. So, yay! So, should we go into the spoiler section and do our discussion questions?
Yeah. Oh my god, I just had like really great bookstagram ideas for The Victoria in My Head. Oh my god! Okay. Moving on to the discussion.
You asked the first question. Well, the second question, because I asked the first question already.
Do we not answer the first question because that we kind of already, or we still do?
We already did. Yeah.
Okay, so why do you think Simon would come out to Abby first? For me, the kind of way I thought about this, yeah, I was when I was first reading the book, I was really surprised that he came out to Abby. But then he kind of explained it a little, and he's like,
Yeah, he does explain it.
Yeah, he does explain it. But at first, you're just like, why would you tell Abby first? But then he's like, oh, like I've known her for the least amount of time, so it doesn't feel like how do you explain it? Like it doesn't feel like
you've been like keeping a secret, or you haven't, like you don't trust them, or kind of thing.
Yeah, basically like that. Like you don't, they don't know you as well as probably your like the people you've known for like your entire life, and that's why it seems less scary, and it seemed less scary for Simon. But now like you kind of understand why he told Abby first. But yeah, he kind of explained it, right? Can you?
Yeah, I think it does kind of make things easier when I guess even in general. I feel like there's sometimes that I feel a lot easier sharing things on Instagram than I actually do feel sharing things with people in my real life that I've known. Yeah, I honestly there are some like really tough topics I've talked about on Instagram. It was like a while ago. If you want to go back in my history, that I just like. I don't know, it just like feels more comfortable talking to people on Instagram than I do in my real life, because it's like, people in your real life have this idea of who you are. And so, I don't know, I feel like sometimes it's like really hard. Like with my parents, I feel like it's kind of hard to talk to them about stuff too, just because like I don't have a history of doing it. I'm trying to be better and talk more about things going on with my parents, but I feel like it's easier with some people like you don't know as long, because they don't have this whole like preconceived idea of you, and so I like Simon does kind of like give his explanation later when I think like Leah confronts him about it, but it being just kind of like easier, and I can see where he's coming from with that, because like they haven't known each other as much, and like Abby doesn't have that history with him that Leah does. So he doesn't feel like has to that he's being like had that. I think he was like said something about like he felt like he was being dishonest with Leah and Nick, and so it's kind of like harder to talk to them about this. So I don't know. Do you have any like?
I mean, no, yeah, I agree, and I feel like for a lot of people, it's like so like even that's why I think it's such a normal thing now for people to be like, oh, why don't you talk like I'm just using this example, but when we have like suicide hotlines, right, and why we have people when they're talking to the people on the hotlines instead of their own parents or family, and people are like, why don't you just talk to your family? It's hard for them to understand what it's like to speak about like these types of issues with someone who's known you so well and probably doesn't even suspect anything going on, but it makes it much harder because just like you said it well.
Yeah, I don't know, like I guess bringing it back to like my own experience, like sometimes it's hard because English isn't my parents' first language, and I'm not the best at speaking loud, so trying to kind of communicate that gets really difficult too. And like even in talking in real life, like I feel like I suck at talking. So like I feel like my most honest self is when I'm writing and in my writing, and which is like on Instagram when you're writing like captions and stuff. And I feel like that's when I'm being like the most me, and even in like my other writing and stuff too. So I don't know. Next question. Are we ready for the next question?
Yes, go ahead.
Who do you suspect is Blue? Okay, so I mean, we have now read the whole book and we know who is Blue. But like when at this point, I think this was like halfway through the book. So kind of like thinking about that, or maybe thinking about like before the reveal, who did you suspect is Blue? And so I was looking through my notes and I suspected Bram on page 96 when he like first shows up. And I was like I'm like, ooh, is this like Bram? Because he like kind of talks about how cute Bram is. Because Bram is a cutie. So I suspected him. And then I suspected Cal. Oh gosh, I didn't bring my notebook.
I mean, you can
trust Cal, but I felt like Cal was like too obvious of an answer. Plus, like, it was just like based off his eyes. Like, that doesn't really say anything. Like, I don't know. Who else did I suspect?
I mean, you can't really trust Belinda because Belinda's like a book fortune teller. So don't ever ask her for your predictions because she's probably gonna spoil it. So, like, yeah. I mean, how can you guess? I didn't guess Bram. Who would guess Bram?
Me, because he like appeared, and it was that one time where they were in English class and he accidentally got Bram's paper and they like looked at each other for a moment. He was like, "Here's your paper," and then Bram was like all like cute and like awkward. Yeah. Who else did you suspect?
I mean, I feel like for everyone in everyone's head, everyone kind of suspected Martin. Like, you had this in the back of your mind. You were like, wait, is Martin doing this to try to mess with him or something? But then obviously it kind of goes away. But I when I wrote it down when I was reading it, the first person I thought was actually Cal. I had never suspected Bram. Weirdly, I never suspected him. I just thought he was a friend. And you know what's so bad about that? Like, the reason, okay, I know this is gonna sound so bad, but this just emphasizes our very heteronormative culture. But like, I did not suspect Bram because he was like a jock. Yeah, I know I hate myself for it, but like, I feel like there's so many stereotypes out there that it's so hard to like not fall into them. But yeah, I mean, obviously now that I see it, it just makes the story even more like oh, like that kind of thing. But yeah, I did not suspect him.
I did, at one point suspect Martin when Simon started suspecting Martin. I was like, no, this cannot. But I was like, on my head, I'm like, no, this is gonna be super messed up if it's Martin.
You just hate him.
Super messed up. And I don't think there was anyone else that I suspected.
Yeah, not really. Like, did you ever suspect Nick? No, right?
No.
Yeah, no.
Nick was like to Abby, so it's just kind of pretty clear where the lines were there.
Yeah, there was like no one else. Cal was a huge contender for me, and I actually was kind of disappointed because Cal was so like, oh my god, he was so like shy and everything. It was adorable.
Actually, I wasn't really like into the Cal's character. He was just kind of like, okay.
He was just kind of there. I know, I understand. And yeah, his eyes were like a huge reason. I'm just so gullible. Like, he was like, oh, the eyes. I'm like, damn, that's him. That's him, guys. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of it. That was a fun conversation.
Oh, wait. And remember when, like, he gave clues? Like, he's like the name of the president or something? Like, what was that clue? Like, I couldn't even connect that to Bram. How?
Because it was always Bram, and, like, we didn't really know that his name was Abraham.
I know. Well, come on, Bram, Abraham, like, that.
I mean, who thinks about all the presidents?
I was.
I was gonna say.
Yes.
I thought it was Bram at the beginning. I was like, ooh. But then, like, there's that one part where they were at the lunch table, and then Bram and Garrett were, like, acting funny about Leah. And then Simon was like, oh, he said it to Bram, like, if you like Leah, then you should just, like, go for her and whatever. And then I was like, oh, darn. There goes my idea. And then it, like, came back later.
Yeah, I think that's what
it just makes me so happy. Okay, next question. You ask it.
How do other people in his life impact as he sees himself? Hold on, let me stop echoing. But yeah, other people, I guess you could say, I mean, I think his friends, most of all. I think, especially Abby, like, she showed such unconditional love, and all his friends did, that I think that's why he did. Like, in the beginning, he states, like, oh, like, I'm not excited about coming out, but I wouldn't mind, especially for me, because, like, he lives in, like, he has, like, good friends, he has good family. But yeah, especially I want to talk about, like, his dad, because I remember him, like, mentioning something about his dad, right? Like, in the beginning. Mm-hmm. Like, his dad made jokes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, that was like, oh, does this make Simon more scared to come out to his family? His mom is always there for him. He knows his family's there for him, even though his dad does make jokes. But other than that, like he mentions in the beginning, which let me try to find it. Wait, go ahead first. Let me try to find it. Where is it?
I feel like this is a question that's kind of hard to answer.
Yeah, that's true. Because, I mean, the thing is, it's so different for everyone. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, you can definitely like see it with the whole coming out thing where, you know, everyone has, especially when you've known someone for a really long time, you kind of have an idea of who they are and how you see them. And I think part of what Simon was thinking about when he was deciding when he wanted to come out was kind of like, you know, how they see him and how like they would change after he did tell them, or like things like that. And I don't know, I do like Abby's addition to their group. I think it's like really interesting how we get, you know, a new girl into this group that has been established for years. Like he's known Nick since they were 4, and he's known Leah since like 6th grade. And it's kind of interesting to think about how all his best friends, his 3 best friends, and they have known each other for different lengths of time, and kind of how that has an impact on their relationship. Like, you know, with Nick, they don't really talk about really personal, emotional things, but they like talk about philosophical things because, you know, like Nick is into like philosophical, this is what my dream was, and let's try to interpret it, and like gets into debates like that, which I think is really interesting. And why I think all the characters like need their own book, because they're all so interesting and like so dynamic and complex. And you know, like with Leah, I cannot struggle with Leah.
I mean, I really liked Leah as a character, and I mean, just Abby as well. I really loved. There's a lot of characters. Like for me, Nick was the character that I was like that. I feel like how you're feeling towards Leah.
Well, I guess I kind of like know people that are kind of have her personality, and sometimes it's like hard to kind of break through that exterior. Where like, even because like Leah, when they go to when they go out on this Friday night without her, and they tell her about it because they didn't want to because they knew that Leah wouldn't really enjoy it, and she would kind of be cynical about going out, and she just could kind of like be a party pooper. But like, you know, I know people in real life that are kind of like that, and it's like difficult to be around them sometimes. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's true.
Yeah, so I guess kind of like that's where I kind of struggle with her character. Like, I'm excited to see like what happens next. The Leon Offbeat is really one of my most anticipated books of the year. But yeah, but like, I mean, like saying like how she impacted Simon's life, and I guess, you know, maybe Simon felt a little like more comfortable about telling her kind of things about like what's going on. Because, you know, like, here's another thing, like Simon didn't tell anybody he was getting blackmailed. And so like maybe like he didn't tell them because he just like, or like with Leah, I don't know. I don't know. You go and I'll try to think.
I really don't know. Like, okay, Leah, I don't know. I feel like oh my god, this is like leading me into the movie, but like Leah, talking about like Leah's character, I feel like that is true, but you can actually see her point of view though, right? Like, I know you know people like that, and you kind of like, like maybe might not like people like that, but like you can kind of see where she's coming from, where she would feel kind of a little bit left out for her friends not even tell, like, even though they assumed that she wouldn't like it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the thought that counts, but then also it's like, you know, if they invited her, maybe she'd feel pressure to go with them, and then she still wouldn't have enjoyed it. And then
it's hard to say, but like just in general, I loved how like you could actually see, like, just I feel like that plays into Becky's writing, like how you can see these character complexities, like their motives and whatever through like the story, and get to know a character better, even though you might not like them. was interesting. And yeah, I mean, that's why I wish I could recall. Like, I'm just sorry. I'm like gonna be quoting the movie a lot because I do not remember the book. But just quoting from the book, like when his dad made those jokes, and like even when he did come out to his dad, and it just those made me cringe. Okay, those made me cringe. It's like, oh no, why are you saying that? Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just like, okay, so, you know, going back to the question, how do other people in Simon's life impact how he sees himself? Like with his family, like they're really like open, loving family.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just kind of like interesting to think about because like his family, I don't like his mom, his parents, like they always have dinner together and like talk about their days, and he like reenacts things for them, and they just have like a really fun and like loving, caring environment that's really supportive. And I don't know, I guess, you know, like one of the things that they brought up in the movie was how Simon has like the perfect life, but he still kind of is unsure about when he wants to come out to people. And I don't know, that was just kind of, I guess, something that kind of connects to it. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it's like, okay, so in the book it says, I mean, I guess I don't, except the whole coming out thing doesn't really scare me. I don't think it scares me. It's a giant holy box of awkwardness, and I won't pretend I'm not looking forward to it, but it probably won't be the end of the world, not for me, at least. So he understands that he's kind of like has a privileged life, or at least has, like when he comes out, it won't be as bad as like for some people whose family are not that open. Because I really love how he was like not even concerned about himself that much, but like concerned about Blue and how it would feel if Martin exposed them, and then how it would impact Blue and not just Simon. Because I don't think, do we even have a question about this, how Blue's family life impacted?
No, we can talk about it.
Oh yeah, just I don't really remember the details, but like for Blue,
well,
it was
his family's divorced, and
yeah.
his dad is Jewish, and he lives like kind of far away.
Mm-hmm.
And they have Hotel Hanukkah, and then his mom was, what is that? I don't know how to say that word.
Why?
It starts with like E. It's like something. It's like she's like Christian, like some group.
I have
I don't. It's like EP. There's an EP and there's like a C and a O and there. And he lives with his mom, and he's an only sibling, and his dad is like remarried, and they're gonna have a baby. I remember about his family.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, just I feel like see, I can't remember, this is the why, but like when Blue expressed to Simon like his kind of grievances or like things that he was like worried about with coming out, and why he didn't, I felt like it just shows how it, because you, of course, you see the huge difference where you said, I didn't even remember this, but you said Blue's family, his parents are divorced, so I guess communication is definitely harder in that realm. Oh my god, it's itchy. Okay. All right.
Okay, should we go on to the next question?
Yes, I got the next.
What are your thoughts on Martin and the things he's done? Do you think he should be forgiven?
You should not be.
I just told you how much I dislike this kid from the beginning, and I'm just like, there are a bunch of times in my notes where I'm like, Martin, no, you're like an idiot, and you have no right to this. And especially like in the movie, I found me like even more annoying. Yeah, he just has absolutely no right to any of this. Like, the whole blackmailing on any level is bad. That's bad. Blackmailing someone with like telling the world that they are gay is like even worse, because he has absolutely no right to it at all. Which, I mean, like, Simon yells at him later. I'm like, yes, go, Simon, yell at this kid who's an idiot who deserves it. Yeah, so I'm like, I don't like him. It was just interesting how there were times. Well, like you go first, and then I'll go on my thought.
Yeah, Martin, I feel like as much as I hate him, and yes, it was so easy to be angry at him and hate him, there's so many people like him, and that's like the sad truth of it. Like, they don't realize what they're doing because, of course, they're not experienced and they don't know how scared someone could be to come out. Like, they're just like, oh, this is like something that I can tell and use against them, but it's really something a lot bigger. But there's so many people like him who aren't educated and like educated about the community. And don't have empathy, I guess you could say. I feel really bad saying that, but sorry, Martin. Do you think he should be forgiven?
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Honestly, I'm sorry. No, he should not be forgiven. I'm sorry. No, like, okay, I feel like Simon's just so nice, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like, which he did forgive him, right, in the end?
No, we don't get any resolution. We just get his big email. Martin's email.
Oh, yes. But I feel like Simon would be the type to forgive him because he's a nice boy. But I honestly would not forgive someone like Martin, especially because of what he did. So, and yes, you were saying before?
I was saying like how it was interesting as they like were kind of throughout the book. There were parts where Simon was like, "Oh, I could kind of see myself as friends with this guy." And I'm just like, Martin, you're an idiot. Like, literally, you didn't have to blackmail Simon to get him to try to help you with Abby. I mean, like, you know, Simon probably would have said no because he's like, Abby doesn't like you. But you could have just been like, oh, Martin, like, if Martin just like would want to like hang out together or like whatever, and just like wants. I mean, because I feel like Martin is really kind of like just wants friends too.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So, like, if he just would have been like, oh, Simon, I think your friend group is really cool, and I like Abby. Like, can I hang out with you guys? And Simon would be a nice kid, and he's like, yeah, sure, even though you're so weird. I'm sorry, that kid is so weird, especially in the movie.
Oh my god, in the movie, they like because I think in the book you couldn't visualize it because in the movie while you were watching the main characters, you kind of saw Martin on the side doing some weird smack right there. Like in the book, obviously you're following a certain perspective, but in the movie you can see a million things going on at once, and man, he was weird. But yeah, like yeah, I agree with that. Like, if Martin, like, if Abby and Simon were talking, like, sitting in the classroom and talking, or in the drama thing and talking, and Martin came up to them, like, I don't think they would have, like, brushed him off. I think they would have been accepting and been like, okay, we'll talk to you too. So yeah, how do some people think of these stuff? Like, how does one person be like, oh, I'm gonna blackmail this person? Like, that's just so. What is your like?
I think it's blackmail. That's the thing.
Like, how do you think of things normally? How do you sleep, man, knowing that, like, it wasn't right.
And I feel like, hold on, I'm trying to get back to my questions. With the movie, I feel like I disliked him even more. I just felt like he was always making it about him in the movie.
No, yeah, I mean,
like, you know, the part where he. Well, the whole part where he puts the emails on the internet, where he was like, I just wanted them to stop like talking about me. And there's like one, he just made it about you again. And then like later when Simon was on the Ferris wheel, and then Martin was like, oh, it was me. And then everyone's like, no, it's not. But it's just like Martin trying to take back like all the attention. I was just like so annoyed with him about it, because it was just like, very, even if he had good meetings, it was like really kind of self-absorbed and selfish, and I don't like that kid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what was I gonna say? Like, he definitely had no right, and I feel like it goes into what you were saying before, how he just wanted some friends.
Yeah. And there was that one part where at the game, where Simon was like really like he was thinking maybe that guy from Waffle House was blue, and then like the guy from Waffle House completely shut him down. Well, not shut him down. He was like, "Oh, Abby," and then we're like, "Oh
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Like Martin comes out and he starts bugging Simon. I'm like, can't you see Simon's a little distressed right here? Like, can you leave him alone for 1 second? Literally, like you're just gonna make this all about you again.
Oh my god, I remember in the movie. Oh my god, I remember in the movie theater when Martin came out in the end. He's like, "It's me." Everyone was like, "No, f no." It was just really funny.
Yeah, I literally want to like scream every time Martin came on the screen.
God, that I feel like this in terms of all the, I know we're talking about the movie again, but in terms of all the movies I've ever seen, I have never seen this reaction from the people. Like from it's sitting in the same theater with people, you never like I barely ever see people laughing out loud like that or screaming things. Like there were legit people screaming things like you go Simon, like that kind of stuff. And I was just like, this is so powerful and beautiful. It made me
but you went to like an advanced screening of it with fans.
Okay, that's true, but I heard that happen a lot. Okay, not gonna lie, like, not gonna lie. Yeah. I mean, were people like laughing or like crying in your theater?
I literally went at like noon
with like
with my mom, which was interesting because I'd never listened to go with me.
Oh my god.
So I feel like she didn't really get it as much as I did. I was like smiling the whole time. I loved it.
Yeah.
So much.
That is very interesting. That is really interesting.
But I don't think, I mean, there were the annoying people who wouldn't shut up behind me. Like, they were just, like, had a lot of side comments. And they're, like, young.
Wait, like, bad side comments, like, trashing it?
No, not trashing it, but it was just, like, annoying stuff at times where you don't need to cheer anybody on.
Oh, okay, because I was like, I'm gonna fight them.
Or, like, talk, where I'm like, you don't need to be talking right now.
That's true.
Next question?
Yes. Okay.
It's your turn.
Oh man, I don't really like this question. What do you think of Abby's reaction to finding out about the blackmail? I think, let me see. Okay, it's kind of going into that whole thing again, what you were saying before with Martin, like, how do you make this about yourself? It's a very double-sided argument because at the same time you're like, oh shoot, what if this happened to me? Like I would like to believe that I would be in like support, like my friends like sexuality, like his like kind of like discovering his sexuality would be more important than him using, because of course he had no choice. Like it's not like he had a choice. Of course Simon would want to be a good friend. He is a good friend, and of course, you know, if things were all right he would protect you, but I feel like this was so important to him. Ugh, I don't know how to answer this question.
Well, I asked this question because I was mad at Abby.
Oh my god!
Not gonna lie, I was like, Abby, dude, like, it's a bigger deal of like, he was blackmailed. Like, how can you be mad at him about this? Like, I mean, I get it. Like, I guess. I mean, the way, like, she was saying, it was like, you can't choose who I love or whatever. But the thing was, like, Simon wasn't even, like, trying that hard. He was like, okay, let's go hang out at Waffle House together. And it was like, it wasn't like he was really, like, forcing them to be in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she a little overreacted because I was mad at her about that. And it was like a really big thing. Like, Simon was blackmailed, and it was a really big, like the whole coming out thing was like, it's his
mm-hmm.
thing that he gets to do. And like, you know, Martin blackmailing him is like, about it is way, I feel like, way more weighty than trying to put Abby and Martin together. Like, it's like, I feel like that isn't as big of a deal. And it's not like he tried, honestly. He like barely tried. It was like, let's go run lines at a Waffle House. That's about it. Or he's like, oh, do you want to go to this party, Martin? Oh my gosh, Martin at the party. That was just like a horror.
I mean, okay, like I definitely understand. Like throughout the book, like I was never mad at her. I don't think I was ever mad at her, but I think I was kind of surprised in her reaction. Like, oh, like this is so. It's hard to say because of course, if you were the person, you wouldn't be happy. But like, it's kind of like, oh, I think you're overreacting a little bit, like because it's not like he. It's not like what am I gonna try to say? Yeah, like what you're saying. It's not like he's making her fall in love with him, but I think she was just mad um that maybe he didn't tell her like when he felt like when immediately when he was blackmailing him, uh or just that oh, shoot. Oh, I can't. Oh my god, this is like so hard. But yeah, if I were saying, I think it would be because Simon didn't tell her once he started the blackmail. And I felt, I honestly, I felt like, I swear to gosh, I felt like if Simon just told Abby, Abby could have talked to Martin. Like, that's in my unrealistic reality. She's like, Martin, I'm sorry, like, I don't really like you, but can we not do this to my friend? But because since Martin liked Abby, he'd be like, okay, Abby, I'll do for you. but, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he should have told me. And also, like, the thing with Martin is, like, Martin, you're blackmailing Simon, and if Abby ever finds out about this, she is never, ever gonna go out with you, ever. Like, how do you think this is gonna work out? Is not.
Some people are just, that's what I'm saying. Like,
gonna work out because you're blackmailing your friend. Yeah, that kid.
Martin just doesn't think. It's, you know. Everything in this book was kind of like him not thinking, like just him, like he knows what he wants. He's gonna go for it.
Oh gosh, that kid. Okay, on to 7.
Yes.
Okay, 7. How faithful do you think the movie was to the book? Why do you think the filmmakers chose to change certain things in the movie?
My favorite question.
You want to answer it first, then?
Oh, really? Okay, I have them in my notes right here. I please interrupt me at all if I didn't catch all the differences because there was a lot. The first
you literally wrote down all the differences.
Yeah, they changed a lot. It was like really surprising.
They did change a lot.
Okay, so first of all, I believe Nick in the book was white, or at least he was like he wasn't.
Yeah, he was Jewish.
Yeah. Oh, he was Jewish. Yeah, and like so they changed in the movie, obviously for the better, because that's just makes the movie better. But I read in like an article.
Still Jewish in the movie or no?
Wait, what?
Is Nick still Jewish in the movie?
I don't remember, but I know. But they did add a person of color, so it made it just like more diverse and like oh my god, like it was so beautiful to see, so beautiful. Okay, another one is Alice, Simon's older sister, wasn't in the movie, and I know honestly that's not such a big thing because, like you said, she in the book she didn't play like a super significant role. Like she did, like I feel like she was just like kind of like an image of Simon's family in general. Like, so I didn't think it was a big deal. But then the biggest freaking deal, which I was so shocked at, like holy shit, Leah was in love with Simon in the movie. Like, yeah. Do you have an explanation? Do you know why they would do that?
Well, I think it's a little of an easier concept to wrap your mind around versus having her be what is it like in the book? She's more like she feels really left out, and she feels kind of like threatened by Abby, and she really likes Nick and like that whole thing. And maybe it was like too much about Abby.
Wait, but she still felt.
Also, because they had, her name is Catherine, right? Lancaster, the actress.
Oh yeah.
And I think they wanted her to have a bit more of a significant role. I mean, they probably written it before they cast her, but she's really great. And I feel like, giving Leah a more significant role, because in the book, Leah doesn't really have a big role. I mean, a lot of times, like, you get Leah and they're having lunch and then Leah gets upset and leaves.
That's true. That
happens a lot of times in the book. And she doesn't really have, honestly, she doesn't have that big of a role in the book when you think about it, like what she really does. And there's that whole big part where she stopped talking to Simon. And it was the only time when she when they like reconciled their friendship was after Bram was revealed. So that was like also kind of like interesting. And I feel like with Leah and Simon's relationship, there's like a lot more in the book, like a lot more nuance and subtleties that you wouldn't really get in the movie. And I don't know, I think, you know, like it's kind of showing her as a different, she kind of has a different role in the movie.
Yeah, I definitely, like, I agree. Like, I also think it could have been, I don't know, this is probably really far-fetched, but, like, it plays a different scenario. Like, a scenario that's also very common, like, when usually you like someone, but you don't know that they're, like, gay. You know what I'm saying? I think it just plays, like, a different, because you do realize that the movie was going to a wider audience, and you had a lot more people, so I guess maybe to relate more to other people, or to like teach, you know, to educate, be like how Leah, she did like kind of understand it, and she was there for Simon, which a lot of people wouldn't be. So it's kind of like to teach or to educate or to inform, you know. So I thought that it was nice.
And I mean, like Leah in the let's look at main picture. Sorry, Leah in the movie. I feel like Leah in the movie and Simon are closer than Leah and Simon in the book.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, that bedroom scene. What was that, girl?
No, I was kind of confused because it's like, you know, Abby's the one who slept over.
I know it was
like more than once. So yeah. I was like, Leah's sleeping over now. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, And okay, I honestly, I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that these actors and actresses played the characters in the book so well.
Perfectly.
Oh my God, so perfect.
Like, Nick Robinson, when he was in Everything, I was like not very convinced.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Simon, I'm just like, I fell in love with that dude. And I'm like, just let me watch everything he's in now.
He's my man crush.
So well. And yeah, I feel like the casting was like so perfect. Like everyone really did really well on their characters, and I loved his family. Like they're such they very very much look like a movie family, like the perfect family, whatever. But I don't know, they're just like so cute, and like Jennifer Garner like looks. I feel like she looks like a mom.
I love Jennifer Garner, and I also really like. I didn't really like his role because of course he was like making jokes, and I kind of felt about him, but I really love Josh.
Yeah, I really liked him too. I feel like he fit. I love him. I love like the whole story where it's like his parents, like the valedictorian, marry the football star.
Yeah. Oh my God, and also
I literally would read a book about them.
That's so, and they were just really cute. Like I think the movie definitely you could like see them as a family a lot more than the book. And
yeah.
Just in general, what was I going to say again? But yeah, also, like, we were talking before about Leah and how she had this kind of off personality that you really didn't like. Like, she was kind of just very, like, how could you spin it? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I think that Catherine Langford really, like, she, like, portrayed her so well. Like, these actors and actresses, oh my God. But yeah, I don't think I could ever imagine anyone else as Simon. Perfect. Spot on character.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, he's cute, but he's not like too cute, so he looks like your normal average guy.
Oh my goodness, that's like so true. That's very true. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't pick like not that it would be bad, but you know, someone who's like super hot or like abs, six pack. You got the six pack, because I feel like then it would be. I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm just saying like we see those characters all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and I mean, like a big part of this book and the movie is like how these characters are like, you know, your average normal people that are around you, kind of a thing. So, you know, as much as I dislike Martin, I feel like they picked a really good actor for him. Like he was very convincing.
Oh my God.
Like, I mean, I probably would like the amount of emotions I feel towards the negative emotions I have towards this kid. I think, you know, he did really well.
And we, you know, sadly, we didn't get to see much of Bram, but I loved the actor for Bram so much. I think actor, right? Oh my god.
What?
Right, like we didn't get to see much of Bram. I feel like yeah, we didn't. We really didn't see much of him. But I remember after watching the movie, I like stalked him on Instagram, and I was like looking him
I
up.
love Keenan.
Yeah, I was like looking him up, and his whole story is great and how he got involved with the movie. Um, and yeah, I loved him.
I think it's so interesting how um so I've known him from Dance Academy, and in Dance Academy he also played, I don't know if it was, I don't remember if it was bi or gay, but his character was um in the LGBT community. So I think it's just like interesting how he's playing that again, and this is like after he has come out. I think he came out as bi.
Wait, what? He was Dance Academy? Bro, I
Yeah,
watched
the
that.
Dance Academy. That's where I knew him from, and I like loved him in it. And he was in the Dance Academy movie, which I just like watched. So he was dancing in it, and he sings. He's like the best. I love him.
Yeah, I'm so smitten for all these.
It was like interesting, like with Bram. I feel like we see him more in the movie than we did in the book.
Oh, definitely. Like that's for sure. We saw all the characters more than we did in the book. I feel like there was just like even Lee. I feel, but even then, I felt like I wanted to see more of him, which was But I mean, I was satisfied. Like the entire movie was just very satisfying. The way it ended, also. Oh my god, the ending, like plaster that in a freaking billboard, man. That's like the golden moment. Like that
The
was
one in the car
what?
getting coffee.
Okay,
In the car getting coffee, or the Ferris wheel.
the Ferris wheel. What do you think?
Well, I mean, that wasn't the end.
That's true. Oh, honestly, it kind of was. No, yeah, that coffee thing was just so cute. And I remember everyone in the movie theater going like, see, you could definitely tell like how like the movie was based on the reactions of the people. It was so amazing. But yeah, then no, I'm talking about the Ferris wheel. Like when all hope is lost.
They don't even get on the Ferris wheel in the book.
That's true. But see, that was my favorite moment, and I just love the movie so much more. It's probably
that was funny.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite book to movie adaptation.
Yeah. I think, even though they had all those changes, is that they really, and I'm now yellow because my lighting is dying. I feel like they really captured the spirit of the book and like the voice of the characters and all the characters. Like, this book is written in first person point of view, which I feel like is I feel like it's the hard thing about a lot of book to movie adaptations is that they don't really capture the voice, and is the voice that, I mean, it feels like not a big thing, but when like in books, like it's not really a noticeable thing, but it's a really big part of why you like a book. And I feel like that's kind of where a lot of book to movie adaptations fail, is like if they're in first person point of view, like you can't get into somebody's mind. But I feel like with this movie, you like definitely get to see it, like just kind of the way that I don't know, like it's acted and the way that it's shot, like you definitely get a sense of like Simon's voice. Like I feel like you can hear Simon's voice and see it.
Oh yeah,
on screen.
I mean, we definitely heard his voice.
Yeah, even when he's not doing like those voiceovers or whatever.
But I don't know. Even though it's like 2018 and last year we're like, oh, it's 2017. I feel like this is a coming out movie, like what is it? Like an LGBT movie that is like unlike anything. I mean, anything that I've seen, because I know a lot of movies like in the past when we had coming out stories, they were usually about like how it like ended in like tragedy, or like there was just something very sad about it, It was like very sad. Like they made it very sad. Or oh my god, like in TV shows or movies we see a lot of the LGBT community as like sidekicks or side characters. But it was just so nice to see in this book like how different it was, and like you don't really realize how many movies you've watched with like that is just like heteronormative, like until you've read this book or seen this movie, and how you were like aching for these movies, like these kind of movies in general. Like this is like something that we've been missing.
I also think it's interesting, like I brought this up to you, but someone close to me just came out to me like last year, and so reading it it was like last fall, and so reading it and watching it is kind of a different perspective. Like if I had read this or watched this, prior to that, I feel like I might have some different thoughts. So I thought it was just kind of like interesting. And then I guess the whole thing with when I like watched every interview because I was so obsessed. But they were talking about like, this is a story that everyone can kind of relate to, because even if you don't know anyone, like really like if no one in your family or someone like super close to you is in the LGBT community, but they're like other people, like maybe they're not like your best friend, but there's like people around you and other people like like your extended family or whatever, and it's kind of a story that everyone can relate to. And so I thought that was just kind of like a really cool perspective to go in, and I'm like telling them to go read this and watch this, so we'll see what they think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's really interesting. Like, oh, yeah, I think I said this to you too, but someone close to me as well, like someone I've known since like the beginning of middle school, and we were like same high school and everything. We're so close. He recently came out like literally like last month. And I think he was. I think this book taught me a lot. Also, the movie taught me a lot. Just to be there for him, because I remember he had such a hard time as well, since his parents are kind of like traditional Asian parents, so it's super hard. But I didn't even say, I wasn't like, oh, everything will be okay. Like I didn't want to like give him false hope, because I wasn't his parents. I couldn't control what his parents thought. But I'm glad that I was that another person that was there for him, that he was
same.
Yeah.
I feel like that too.
Like you can't change the minds of others, but you can always be there to even know that there's someone else in their life that like doesn't understand. You'll be that person, and they'll feel so good to have you in their life, and they'll appreciate you. So I'm just
like so excited. I can now kind of connect with them over like LGBT books, because this person doesn't read.
Oh no.
So I'm like, read this book, and then they usually like end up loving it, which is like great. So
yeah, I mean, what's really sucks? Like, sometimes, like, I'll admit, like, do a lot of your friends ask you for book recommendations? They do, right? Like, just like people, like, just like people who, like, when they first find out about your blog or whatever, they're like, hey, like, even on Instagram, people are like, can you give me some books to recommend?
Yeah.
And I usually get asked that by friends, especially. I feel like that's the only thing I'm known for now. Like, just through high school, the book person. But when people ask me, I always recommend LGBT, like the plus community books. And like, it's really sad, and for me to see people be like, oh no, can you like give me something different? Or like they say they're like, oh, I don't want to read that. I'm just like, if you don't give it a chance, you're not really gonna know what you've been missing. Yeah. So it's just
I feel like this is definitely like a good starting book. Because I know, like some people that they're just like not used to it. They're not around people who are in the community, so it's kind of tougher for them to like get into it. But I think this is a really good starting book. Is like, I think this one and Carry On, because like the LGBTQI aspect of it is just treated very normal. Like it's just like normal. It doesn't make you any different. It doesn't change the story. I mean, like it's a huge part of the story, but it doesn't like change anything. And it's just like really fun. Like this book is super cute. Like if you're into like cute romance contemporary, like you'd love it.
Yeah.
If you're into like high school, you'd like love it. And I feel like it's a really good like book to get started with.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some books that are like more tougher. Like if you read like We Are the Ants or like the
Oh my god, one of my
favorites, which have a lot of other like tough subjects in it, so that's kind of hard to get into. But I feel like this is a really good to start with.
Wait, oh my god, that's so true. That is so true. Why did I recommended that to one of my friends recently? But yeah, you're right. We Are the Ants. Just like to like sidetrack, but like that
is like a really tough book.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. But you're right. This is definitely one where a starting point, which is weird because I didn't read it as like my. Even though this book came out like 2015 or 16.
Yeah.
But like it was weird that it wasn't like my first book. Like even I had known about it then. Like it was one of those books that I always knew about but never read. But yeah, just in general.
Because I mean, I will be honest, and like in the past, like trying to get into reading diversely in this way has been kind of like hard. But you know, there's some books that are like easier to get into than others, and I feel like this is a really good choice if you're trying to get your friends to read more diversely in this way.
Oh yeah, wait, actually that's yeah, I was just looking back at our like Instagram and I'm really glad that we kind of do this because it's kind of like you need there are so many diverse books, not as much as there should be, but there are a lot, and it's like picking the right ones, which one's your preference, which ones you think you'll like the best. So I think we do a lot of that, like recommending, you know. So yeah. Interesting.
Do we have other things you wanted to talk about?
I'm trying to think right now. I'm like looking back at the questions. Wait, was there any other differences that you found, or did I get them all?
Well, his dog isn't a golden retriever anymore.
Wait, darn. Oh my! You don't get out of here! Get out of here! Get
out! The ending. They changed the ending. The whole thing with like in the book, you know, like how Leah has a band with Nora, and Nora's like now younger and also a chef.
Oh my god!
I love the book, and I'm like, I don't even care really. But that was something.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was so cute.
It was also kind of like interesting, like they took out the band aspect because I don't know where they're gonna go with it.
Yeah, I mean
that was also like a really big part of like Leah's character because you know like, she wasn't always like there. Sometimes she was kind of like absent. It's because she was rehearsing with her band, and so I think that's also maybe why that they had Leah be in love with Simon.
I think what's really awesome about this adaptation was that it was done with so much love, so much preparation, so much thought. And I think unlike most other adaptations, I think they really, even though they changed a lot of things and pretty dramatic things, they took like the essence of what people love so much about the book and what the story was and just freaking put it on screen. And it was just like, I couldn't be more proud of such like a well done movie. Like, you know how after like a book to movie adaptation comes out, everyone's like hating on it, pointing out things they shouldn't have changed. Like, I feel like for this one, even though there were things that were changed, people are like, oh, that's interesting, or they're talking about it, but not like being mad at it, you know? Which is, it just makes me so happy to see that.
There was also like Bram threw the party, and that kind of threw me off because Bram in the book is a very shy person. So for him to throw a party, I was like, also, are his parents divorced in the book? Yeah, I think so.
Who, Bram's?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
Because like Hotel Hanukkah wouldn't be a thing if his parents weren't.
Wait, there's a chat. Okay. Taylor wrote, Nora was so cute. It's so weird how they took out Simon's older sister because now I can't imagine him even having her there in the book. Yeah, like that's the huge, like I feel like that was the thing that popped out. Like at first I didn't really realize that Leah was in love with Simon, but once like I didn't see Alice there, I'm like, wait, where's Alice? Like that was something that I was like asking myself.
But I honestly feel like she isn't that important of a character. Like she literally just like appears and then disappears. But she's going to school in Minnesota.
Wait, what? I didn't know that. Wait, yo, let's go Minnesota 2018.
Yeah, but I mean, like she doesn't really do much in the book, to be honest. Like, what is she? She takes them to Waffle House where they see Martin and his brother.
Yeah, I mean, like
the whole part where Martin was like, "Oh, my brother's gay, so you should totally like."
Oh god, that was such a
no kid, no.
Martin, get out of here.
Yeah, that was like that. I think, and they had like Thanksgiving or Christmas together. They had she had a boyfriend in the book, Alice, who she was like kind of hiding, and she like went to talk to him over Christmas, like for 2 hours. But
I don't remember the small things, but yeah.
And like at the end where they're at the talent show that they took out, where she like organizes it so that Simon and Bram can have some time together.
I know, but I feel like is there a specific reason why they took her out? Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, of course I'm not mad or anything, or I'm not like, oh my god, there's a huge main character that was taken out. But I'm like, is there a reason why they took it? Like they just took her. They just didn't include her.
Well, I mean, you would have to hire another person, and it just would convolute the plot. I feel like because people's attention span don't last long, and you know, a movie is only 2 hours.
That's true. And, the budget. Wait, okay. Someone says, shoot. I don't know how I feel about them having Leah like Simon. I feel that was kind of an obvious plot idea. Yeah. For me, I was like, wait, are you just trying to stir up some more trouble here in the movie?
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I didn't mind. It was just very surprising. I'm like, wait, what? What's going on? Because I didn't expect them to change it. That's why.
Yeah. I was a little bummed that Abby never slept over.
What? No, okay, you know what I was expecting them to change? I was dead expecting them to change who Blue would be in the end.
Really?
Because of course, like, I don't really mind, of course, as long as it's like the story keeps its integrity. But I felt like because they were like, oh, we had like this book was so many people have read it, like we have to do something different. I don't know why I thought that. I feel like they just do that with adaptations.
I feel like you couldn't change. Like if you changed Bram, I'd be out. I'd be like, no, this sucked.
That's true. That's true.
What else was changed in the book?
See, yeah, I don't remember. Because you remember, like, small-ass details. See, this is why we need you here. We need to have someone...
They never, like, hung out at Nick's house.
Oh, my God. They probably did, like, off camera. Yeah, but
I'm excited to see what they, like, take out. I really hope there's, like, a lot of, like, extra deleted scenes.
There are? Oh, my God, did you see that BuzzFeed interview?
There are. What?
Did you see the BuzzFeed interview when they were playing with cats?
With puppies?
Oh, was it puppies? Oh, shoot. Why do I think it's cats? Yeah. With puppies or cats. That was so freaking cute. Oh, my
God. They changed the play. Those people. Oh. In the movie, I think they're doing, like, Oklahoma. And in the... Or no, they're doing Oliver. They're doing Oliver, and then in the book they're doing Cabaret, and I was like,
"Oh my God!" You're just giving me flashbacks of the play, that was interesting. It was beautiful.
Yeah, they did keep the Taylor character. Do you remember her?
Oh my God, that was I just thought she was just a funny character on the side. She was just like this.
She was funny. She was like really annoying. But, yeah.
Like, okay, and see, if they were supposed to change something, they could have taken out her, like, put Alice back, take Taylor out.
Okay, we have a new question.
Oh.
Or do we have any more thoughts on this? What was different from the movie?
You want me to read it?
Nora was a chef. That was not what I was expecting.
Who do you guys think Leah will end up with in Leah on the Offbeat? I literally feel like she might be with Abby, mainly because that's a popular non-canon couple in the fandom. That is very true, and I ship it so much. Oh my God, yeah, of course we ship it. Like, who wouldn't ship it?
Abby and Leah?
Yeah, no, yeah. Like, I ship it, like I low-key ship it, but like I doubt that that might happen because I don't know. I feel like there might be new characters introduced because for Leah on the Offbeat. Do you think there's definitely going to be like new characters introduced? I feel, because it's going to be.
Oh, what about Taylor?
Can you? Oh my God.
Leah and Taylor. Oh my gosh, that would just be like an interesting because they're so different, but they're in the band together.
Yeah,
actually, maybe Nora, but actually, I don't really think Nora.
Nora.
This is like okay. So have you read Upside of Unrequited?
No. But that doesn't follow the Simon storyline, does it? Like the character?
No, but it's the same characters. It's like in the same universe. Like Abby is the cousin of the main characters from Upside.
Oh.
And Abby like kind of appears on a phone call and is still dating Nick. Spoiler, I'm sorry. Not really a spoiler, it's not really a big deal. But yeah, so
the Taylor says, I don't think she'll end up with Garrett. His crush seems pretty one-sided. We're talking about Leah, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think she'll end up with Garrett. I don't.
I like this Taylor idea.
Yeah. Well, I ship it all, man. I honestly think I don't know. I probably think new characters will be introduced and maybe there will be something like do you think I honestly don't think Simon and Abby and like they're gonna make a huge appearance in Leah. Do you think so? That's
In
interesting.
Leah, I think they do because like they're all still best friends.
Well, yeah, I know, but like I think
Leah without the rest of them.
I know, but I feel like you'd be more focused on Leah. Like,
I mean, it will, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel okay, honestly, I know this is so weird, but I feel like if Simon's there, people are just gonna be swooning over Simon. Like, cause come on, Simon's like a character.
Yeah, no, but the Simon won't be doing anything relevant. He would just be like hanging out with Bram all the time. He'd just be boring.
I just had a cute image in my head. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, isn't Taylor in the oh my god, Taylor in the chat agrees with wow her with
yeah, I saw that. Yes. She didn't see me. I was just like that. I was like, yeah.
You know what, Taylor? It's probably true because Belinda, if you didn't know, is a book fortune teller. So she kind of predicts what happens in books before they come out.
I just read too much.
Yeah. Next question. Oh my god, do you know what should happen? Like Leah on the Offbeat should come out and they should make a movie out of it.
They should, but they never introduced a band.
Okay, well, I mean, they can always reintroduce, but that would be like so freaking cool and amazing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I mean, you think about like Taylor pops up so much in this book, and she's very like surface level character. I mean, she seems like a complex character, but she's also a little like surface level-y. And also, you know, there's that one time where like Taylor goes to beat up those idiot kids who come to like make fun of Simon. Ugh, that didn't happen. Well, it happened in the
not in the movie.
The kids happened in the movie, but the Taylor part didn't happen in the movie.
Yeah.
Darn. No. Okay, I remembered something else from the movie that was in the book. The principal. You didn't like him?
I don't know. I felt like he's kind of annoying in the movie. Sorry. My principal's not like that. And like, it was just like, oh yeah, I agree. Taylor, I feel like Taylor is one of those characters where I want to explore more. Like with all the characters in this book, but especially there are some people's stories who I want to hear more of. Of course, it's like, it's not impossible, but it would be like super complicated to write a story about every single character in this book. But I feel like there are some fanfics out there. Come on, where are the Taylor fanfics at? Belinda, are you gonna start one? You should start one.
I feel like I'm not qualified to write it. I liked the principal, okay? Does not like the principal. I'm like, I thought he was hilarious, and he was like the annoying. It was very much like teenage movie.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I feel like
I like that because it's just like, I mean, Simon really is like a teenage movie. It's like the new Mean Girls, whatever.
Oh my god, what did you just
like Clueless? Like whatever. It's like really iconic, and I feel like I really liked him. I just liked how like obnoxious he was, and his like cell phones. Give me. He just like literally just took.
I know, but at the same time, I didn't want this to be like every other high school story out there. So like when I saw him, I was just like, can you not be this enthusiastic and obnoxious? But I mean, I wasn't bothered by it. Like I'm not bothered by a lot of things easily, but it was just like, why are you like this? Oh yeah, when he was in the hallway and he's just like, oh my god, that was just no. When he like saw Simon in the hallway separately, that was just like after he came out. No, after he came out.
Yeah, I was disappointed in that principal. Mm-hmm. He wore like the little rainbow flag on his lapel, and he was like not very like enthusiastic that day, and I was like, dude, you are missing your opportunity right now.
Yeah, you're supposed to be this principal that all the kids relate to, and then all of a sudden when it comes to this, like you're kind of like you're not as obnoxious as you usually are. But I mean, oh well.
You know what else was different? They added a beginning. Like they added like a little prequel to this book.
They did?
Well, because like in the book it starts off straight with Martin Blackmail.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then he had to give it like a little more of an intro, which was
well, of course you had to, because in the book you don't have that much the luxury to explain everything as you go along, or like it's in the it's I love the media difference between like literature and movies. Like movies, it's very like what you see perceptive that way, but books, it's very you have time to explain. You have because books people take their own time, but movies you're sitting in that theater and you're like, I'm gonna be out of here in how many hours or how much time this movie takes to leave. But well, let's see. Yeah, the principal did have some funny moments. This movie was very funny. Unexpectedly, this movie was very hilarious and made me laugh at times. And I'm not a very like easily enthusiastic, or I don't really laugh at movies a lot. Like I cry a lot, but I don't laugh a lot.
I just had a smile on my face. This is me the entire time.
Really? I was just like laughing. And my
I said when Martin came out and I was like
giving him that bitch face, yes.
What was it? I was gonna say, the Ethan character. Like I always forget because people have been talking about this Ethan character, and I always forget who Ethan is. But
who the hell's Ethan?
Other out gay kid at school.
Oh my god! Oh, thank God! I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. No, that's just me. No, that's just my memory. Like I remember him saying like, "Oh, these." Like I remember him saying in the book that there were kids who came out at school and they were like kind of being bullied a little bit. But I don't remember how it played out in the movie. Yeah, it's just this has to do with my memory, nothing to do with the book or the movie. Just my crappy memory.
What did you think about it though? Do you remember it at all or no?
No, you want to like explain it?
Okay, I thought it was interesting how they had Ethan in the movie, but I do really like how like confident Ethan is as a character and very very happy with who he is. Do you remember him? He's the other gay kid.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Oh my God. No, because Taylor in the chat, she's like, "Oh, like they did the prank on Ethan and Simon."
Yeah.
Oh my God. Now I remember. Yeah, and like, yeah. Oh my God.
That was also a part where I wasn't smiling. I was like,
yeah. And I love how Ethan. Oh my God, Ethan just like pushed, like snap back. He like clapped back, man. It was so funny.
Yeah, I really like how he is very, like confident.
Yeah.
And I think that really is kind of like reassuring to Simon.
Yeah.
Even though like Simon really like feels different about how he is and how he acts and what he dresses like, and it's very different from what Ethan is like. So I think that's kind of like interesting that we get to see that too.
Mm-hmm.
Waffle. Okay, so Taylor in the comments said, "Not gonna lie though, I hella cringe when Martin and Abby were yelling in Waffle House." Same, girl, same. That was painful to watch. You remember that?
Anything including Martin trying to make his moves on Abby is cringe to the max.
He's so awkward. Oh my gosh. When he interrupts the national anthem, I'm like, dude, you could have just like waited.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
National anthem.
Don't talk to me about that. That was so freaking like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And how does a person who like needs help from Simon to get Abby, how does he have the confidence to go out and freaking yell that in front in like a microphone? Like
that is true. Like
you wouldn't think like he's like, "Oh, I need Simon to help me behind the scenes," but then he just goes out there and he's like, oh my God, I also really felt sad for Martin then too. I know you're like,
I mean, yeah, I did.
Yeah, that was kind of sad.
I'm thinking about the principal, and that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Common, what is it called? No, this is teen. Oh my God. It was very relatable.
It was. I felt like it captures. I mean, that was not my high school experience. You know what else? They skipped Spirit Week.
What do you mean?
In the book, they had like Spirit Week, and Simon was like,
oh my God, how do you remember
homecoming? And he was like, "Oh, Blue, are you dressing up?" And Blue was like, I'm not gonna tell you if I'm dressing up because then you would know who I am.
Oh yeah.
They like skipped that in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say something about it, but now I forgot.
And like I really liked how in the movie you could see clearly, like it was a lot more evident. Like in the book, we didn't really get to see his emotions while he was typing out everything or while he was reading Blue's responses. But in the movie, you could see his reactions. It was like a really interactive experience, and I really liked that. For me, so yeah, just another thing with just like book. That's why this book needed a movie, so you could have like double the cringy moments and double the cute moments and the emotional factor.
And I was gonna say, like, also in the movie, I really liked how they showed Blue typing out the letters, like emails, depending on who Simon thought it was.
Oh yeah, actually, that kind of threw me off though.
When Bram like shows up right at the beginning, and I was like,
yeah, but that threw me off. You know why? Because once I saw the person typing on the computer and it was like Cal, I was like, wait, is it Cal? But then there was another person. I'm like, wait, why are they changing them? And I just got like really confused. But yeah, it was cool. And oh my god, remember that moment? I this is on the trailer too, but in the moment when they flash back to him like with the girl at prom or like the dance, the flashbacks, yeah, those are hilarious.
Or love the part where he's like, I'm going to school in California, and they have the gigantic dance number.
Oh my god.
And it's like all super rainbow and colorful.
Wait, that is so
iconic.
Wait, what? And it's like, what did it say on the sign? It's like, like at the school, like at the, it was like generic some liberal arts college or something like that, or something.
Oh, I don't remember that. But I thought that was funny.
Do. Oh my god, that's funny. That's really funny.
What about the Waffle House kid? I didn't like him. He was annoying.
Who? The one that he liked? The one who liked Abby?
Yeah.
I thought he was cute.
He was cute until you said he liked Abby.
Yeah, I was rude. I honestly was like, I thought he was like perfect for Simon, but hey.
That was, yeah. What else?
Anything else?
Not that I can think of right
That
now.
was a really enthusiastic discussion. Oh, Taylor says, I wanted to punch the Waffle House waiter when he was saying Abby was like, oh my god.
Same, girl, same.
Damn.
Did not like that guy. Anyone who hurt Simon is going down.
Simon is a precious cinnamon roll that cannot be. You can't play with it. Yo, you can't fight. You can't mess with Simon. He's got too many supporters.
Oh my gosh. You know the part where like his dad is getting to like the whole anniversary, his parents' anniversary, and his dad is like getting them to make that like video, and I thought it was the cutest thing ever. And he was like, oh,
that was so
all the transitions and everything, and then Simon's like, this is so cringe. Do you remember that?
Yeah, Jennifer Garner and Josh played such a cute like mother and father kind of couple. Like, yeah, and I remember when he was making it, he's like, and Simon's teaching him how to make it. Just like normal dad things. You need to help your parents with technology.
All the time, literally. My mom doesn't know where the pause button when she makes a video.
That's dead ass. I help my parents make slideshows all the time.
Yeah. Josh and Jennifer are so cute. Yeah. They're like the cutest like parents. I like love their family.
Mm-hmm.
And they had some really great moments with Simon.
Yeah. I honestly
I'm gonna cry.
Like, to be honest, I honestly really need to watch it again. Like I really wished I watched it one more time like after it came out. So maybe I will, you know.
Yeah, I want to go see it again. I'm hopefully gonna see it this week. Drag someone with me. That's not my mom.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna try during my spring break. We'll see if it's probably still gonna be in theaters.
You'll probably find a theater. I mean, you live in New York.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so I think that's about it for our discussion.
Yeah, it was like one of the fun ones we've had in a while. Like we were just like screaming. That's literally what this was.
This is like wasn't our March book last year like Secret of a Heart New, and I was literally like fangirling so much over.
I remember, yeah, that was for me definitely that was one of probably my favorite books like ever. Like I always talk about it, I always bring it up. That should be a thing. I should just bring it up in every single live show.
I want to reread it. But we
Alright.
should end our discussion since we're a little
Alright.
out of things to talk about. But
Yeah.
this book was so good, and this movie was really good, and I really want to see the movie again.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll definitely try to. You know, we'll see.
Yeah. And so, thank you for joining us. If you joined us during the live show, and if you are joining us after the live show, this was a lot of fun, a lot of fangirling, and not glaring at Martin. Yep. And so I hope you join us for our next book, which is The Victoria in My Head by Janelle Milanes.
Yes. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this book.
But
does the cover remind you of a Morgan Matson book? Like it reminds me of one.
Yeah, I really like this cover. It's so cute. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I guess we're gonna say bye now.
Yeah, we'll see you guys on Instagram or next live show.
Yay, bye.
Bye guys.